If you want to see how I got this look, or these looks, using Huda's brand new palettes, then stay tuned. Spoiler alert, I don't like them. So I'm just going to get straight to it, okay? I'm not swatching these. And I'll tell you why. They're all the same. So if I swatch one, I've swatched the others. Look, bam, bam, bam. Let's go through them. So first, to start, we have the chocolate brown palette, which is basically extremely rich, extremely warm, extremely brown, extremely boring. Next, we have the caramel palette. Even this, I mean, this could have been like embossed or something. This is boring as hell, like Jesus. Now tell me, without them side by side, what's the difference? What's the difference? They don't deserve my swatches and my time. Do you know how much time and effort swatches take? This don't deserve it.
Did I lie? Did I lie? Did I f***ing lie?
I'm sorry, this doesn't. You want to see it swatched? Open your naughty palette and swatch all of them. It's the same. You want to see it swatched? Open your coral palette or topaz palette. Swatch all of them. It's the same. Lastly, we have the Toffee palette. Look like this on the inside. Look like this on the outside. Swatch your coral palette if you want to see this, because it's exactly the same. Or even, you know what, you could even swatch your Desert Dusk if you want. Exactly the same. And be a bit more interesting. Or your gold palette. It'll be a bit more interesting. So let's get into the first look.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
No, okay, I'm being really unfair, but I really didn't like these, so that's why my attitude stinks. This was not fun, but I'm gonna let you see why. And oh, that's another thing as well. I didn't really talk much while I was doing this. I had to force myself to speak because it was so uninspiring. But anyway, let's cut away. I'm gonna show you how I did the first look, second look, third look, and then we're gonna get my final thoughts. But this energy that I've got right now, it's coming back. First look. And we're starting with the brown palette. So first I'm going to go in with this lovely warm brown shade here. We're going to use that as my fill shade. So I've just woken up, so I'm a bit... Now one thing I've noticed about this is the lighter shades kind of blend into nothing. So just be wary of that. Okay, happy with that. Next, I'm going to go in with the darkest shade in the palette, which is this deep brown here. For a deep brown, it's actually pretty warm, but I'm going to just pop her there. Excellent. And again, I find this colour is probably one of the trickiest ones to blend, which isn't uncommon in most palettes, but is a little bit uncommon for Huda. Oh, a touch more. Let me pull that out a bit. Thing is, it's like once it gets warmed up, it's okay. Okay, next we're going to go on with this warm metallic brown here in the middle. I'm going to pop my brush in there. And I don't want to go too crazy with that particular shade. I'm using it really as a way of bringing the next shimmer in, so it's not so stark. Brilliant. Alright, next we're going to go in with this kind of pinky gold here. And this is going to act as more of our lid shade. But I do think, one thing I must say about this particular palette, she kind of duped herself. I'm pretty sure you could do this with the Naughty palette or the Coral or the brown, the original Obsession browns. But I don't have those ones, so I don't mind too much. I have the Naughty, but I don't have those. the original brown one, so I don't mind too much. Right, now for our final shade, if I come brush, we're going to go in with this really light shade here. They don't have names, by the way, that's why I'm saying them like that. Being honest, at the moment, I'm really enjoying using all mattes, which is why I'm incorporating it here. I'm using the shimmers because I want to show you how the palette works, but if I had my way, I would just use all mattes. Okay, that's the look. I'm going to finish up the rest of my face and then we'll have a look. So this is the finished look. Even the brown palette. On to the next. So our next palette is the caramel one. So first up, I am going to put this lovely orange shade all over my lid. There we go. Next, I'm going to go on with this orange shimmer, sorry, and I'm going to pop that all, I'm going to pop that towards the outer edge of my lid, actually. Here we go. It's got good pigment, actually. I think my enthusiasm for this palette isn't what it should be, because if I had just bought one, I probably could have created all the looks that I'm creating. And I think that's what my biggest frustration is. Like, they're not different enough from each other that it warrants, in my opinion, buying all three. Because whenever I've opened all three, and I'm struggling to think of what look to do, because I want them to look distinctly different, but they can't because they're so similar. So anyway, next I'm going to go in with this gold. Should I go with that gold? Let's try this one. Let's see what she do. We'll go with this one next. Yeah, so I think, because I'm now thinking, okay, how can I make sure they all look different? And it's because they're so similar. Okay, I'm going to go back in. It's actually quite a nice shade. It's actually a very nice shade. It's working really nicely as well. It's quite nice. Okay, and because I am who I am and I like to put definition, I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is a black, and I'm just going to pop that on the crease here. So black is more of a deep brown, actually. I'm just going to pop her there. Yeah, so as I'm saying, I'm struggling to be enthusiastic about it. That looks quite nice though. But purely because I'm trying my hardest to make sure that none of the looks look the same, and I'm not sure if I'm winning that battle. It's kind of stressful, actually, to be honest with you, because you want to demo the palette, but you don't want all the looks to look the same. And between the three palettes, I'm struggling. Okay. I'm going to put the orange shade back where it was, because I feel like I'm losing it. Actually, that's not bad. That looks good. Bring it up. Okay, so this eye is done. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go ahead and use the next palette on the other eye. So we're going to have two different eyes, which is weird, but that's what we're going to do. Next, we're going to go on with the Toffee palette. First up, what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to go a bit against convention. I'm going to start with this mustard colour, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by putting that on the inner corner. So just here. So I'm trying to make these looks look as different as possible, but still playing with the formulas. Yeah. Okay, next I'm going to go in with this kind of shimmery tone here. It looks interesting. I just want to see what it does, to be honest with you. It looks like someone's put a net over the shimmer, being honest. So I'm kind of trying to build the look the wrong way. Okay. It's nice though. Next, I'm going to go in with this orangey brown here. And then I'm going to go in with the mustard to create almost a halo kind of look. So I'm just going to pop that there first. Quite a nice colour there. And bring it round. So I am kind of defying convention here. But I just wanted to build it the other way around. And low key, I didn't want to do a cut crease, and I would have had to cut the crease if I accidentally put down too much colour, because yellow is unforgiving. Cool. And then just to give a little bit more depth to that, I'm going to go in with this kind of muddy tone. Actually, I might put a bit of yellow in there as well, actually. And I'm going to pop that right here, right there. There we go. That's probably the easiest look I've done today, to be honest with you. Okay, I'm going to finish both looks, and then I will give you my final thoughts. And this is the finished look on the caramel side. And this is the finished look on the toffee side. Overall. So, thoughts. Here are all three palettes side by side. Now the problem is with them is they're not different enough that it actually warrants getting all three. So that's my first thing to say, you don't need all three. This is the caramel palette. Now to be honest with you, if I was going to get any of these palettes, it would be the caramel or the toffee. Purely because the brown palette, you can get from the Naughty palette, you can get from the Nude Rich, you can get from the Nude Medium. They're just not different enough that it warrants getting all three palettes. As in, Huda has a lot of these shades already in her collection. And whilst the packaging makes them look different, they're not. And here's the problem. I struggled when I was doing these looks to try and make three different looks that looked entirely different, because I was thinking, well, I don't want my viewers to be like, well, that looks like the last one, that looks like the last one, and I shouldn't have to worry about that. I should be able to get three cohesive looks that are distinctly different and make each palette warrant being bought on its own, and I just didn't get that. If you have the Topaz palette within your collection, you probably could get away with not getting the toffee or not getting, where's the other one gone, the caramel, because they're going to give you the same looks. That's literally it. They're going to give you the same looks. Now you look at them and you go, well, that looks different, but actually when you start to think about combinations and things, they're going to give you the same looks. This didn't inspire me at all. I found the darkest matte within the chocolate palette really difficult to blend. Really difficult to blend. And there's actually a couple shades. So you've got this brown here in the caramel palette, and this brown here, even this brown, even that's a matte, that are too similar for 9 pans. For you to have a collection of 9 pans, there's too similar. They're your normal Obsessions formula, so they're good. They're okay. Okay, now I should feel more strongly about this. I'm completely uninspired by these palettes. Quite frankly, I want my money back and I want my time back. I didn't enjoy that, and I always enjoy doing makeup, and I didn't enjoy that.
Electric chair.
The formula is not strong enough, again, that it warrants buying all three. Because for instance, if you're a diehard fan, the formula isn't so great within the Obsessions palettes that it warrants buying all three. To be honest with you, I would skip them all. I'd either buy the Rich Nude from last year, or I would go for the Naughty palette. Because this will give you all those looks and a better formula. So for me, I don't want to say it's a miss. They're not awful, they're just not good. They're just not very good. They don't warrant going out and buying all three. And if I could get my money back, I absolutely would, to be quite honest with you. I don't think, don't get me wrong, I think my look is fire because, you know, I did it. But I could get this with so many other palettes. The formula as well, this doesn't feel any different to some of the cheaper palettes I have. And I would give those more of a bly because they are cheaper palettes. And I think with Huda, I have higher expectations. Her larger palettes are phenomenal. Her foundations are pretty good. Her, what do you call it, Tantour is amazing. Her line is actually pretty good. And I feel like These are letting the side down a bit. I just don't feel like this was necessary. We could have got, I don't know, we could have got a teal palette. We could have got a smoky palette. We could have just got something that was so different to what's already within the collection. Whereas this is very samey. It doesn't have its individual place. There isn't a need for any of these. As in, this is essential to balance out the collection. It's not necessary at all. If they never made these, the collection is just fine as it is. And that sounds really harsh, but
That's my opinion!
I was just so uninspired. Like, I'm looking at the topaz, I'm looking at the coral, and I'm like, this isn't much different to what's already there. You stick a yellow and an orange and a deep brown, and they're all very warm. That's another thing. And I love warm palettes, but it might be interesting to give us some cooler tones or some genuine neutrals. These are all very warm and they're all very nice. And like I said, I love a warm, but I just feel like I've just bought more of the same. That's a shame. And normally when I do eye looks, I'm usually like, oh, I'm having so much fun. This is great. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Even if the color story is just different or disorganized, I've had more fun with other palettes. I had more fun with the Mercury Retrograde, and that was unusual. I shouldn't have loved it the way I did, but I did. Whereas this one, I'm like, the naughty one's nicer. The nude one from last year and the nude medium from last year are nicer. The gold one from earlier this year, they're nicer. I just feel like if I didn't have any of these Obsession palettes, then fine. Okay, great. Okay, fine. We can let it have that one. But I do, so it just doesn't feel like it was entirely necessary. And quite frankly, I want my money back. I want a full refund, even though I've used them. It's a bit of a downer, to be honest with you. Put it this way, I didn't even put earrings on.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
When I finished doing the look, normally I'd put earrings on, you know, make sure that you know, padow. I was like, it doesn't even deserve it. And that's just the tea. At least with the neons, they were different. At least with the pastels, I mean, I don't F with pastels, but at least with the pastels, they were different. This is very I genuinely believe, wholeheartedly believe, I could get all 3 looks with any of these palettes. I don't need them all individually. I can get it with any of those palettes, and that's saying something. I could also get it with the topaz palette. I could also get it with the naughty palette. I could also get it with the coral palette. I could also get it with the medium nude, the dark nude, and that's saying something, quite frankly. I don't need these in my collection. So yeah, I'm bummed out. I'm not enjoying myself. I'm gonna have a cup of tea. This was not fun. Huda, try again. Yeah, don't buy these. If you've already got any of the others, if you've got any of the browns or the naughty palette, don't buy this. Even if you've got the bloody Desert Dusk, again, you could make it with this one too. Yeah, don't buy this. Don't buy this. So I apologize if I bummed you out, but hopefully I've saved you your time and some money. Yeah. This isn't like me. I like most things. This is not like me. So, but hopefully if you like my video, you found it informative, you found it helpful, please like, please subscribe, please share if you care, and I will see you in the next fun-filled video, because god damn, it's gonna be better than this. Feed my kids, supposed to brush their teeth. Ciao.